You'll hear it. Hi, greetings, everyone. I am Pastor Linda Cowles, the president and founder of Anointed Community Services International. And I am so pleased to have with us today our new director of the Women's Ignite Network, Dr. Ivy Smith. Let's welcome her as she welcomes you to this month's edition.
Thank you. Hi, my name is, as she said, Ivy Smith, and I'd like to welcome you to the Women's Ignite Network Health and Wellness session for the month of February. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ivy. And the next voice that you will hear will be that of Dr. Barbara Int'l, our local doctor right here in Lake County, Florida.
So, ladies of Women's Ignite Network, this is Dr. Barbara Int'l, and we are going to start again on our monthly health topics. I know you've missed me last month, but we are back and we are going to have some very interesting topics now. Today, we are going to talk about our hearts. Okay, we all know February is Heart Month. Valentine's Day was celebrated. People gave gifts and received gifts and to their loved ones. And I want us to just kind of focus on how we ourselves can love ourselves by taking care of our hearts. So with that said, let's go through some slides today. Like I said, this month, you have to give your heart some love. And that's what we are going to look at. As you know, we can think of heart in three ways. You know, we can think of a physical heart, our emotional hearts, and our spiritual hearts. Today, I'm going to kind of focus on the physical hearts. And we love people and we express emotions, and that has to do more with our emotional heart. Okay, we express different types of emotions, like we are sad, we are happy, and we are angry. You know, that those are kind of emotions that have to do with the heart. But when we have to talk about physical heart, we talk about the different diseases and conditions that can affect our physical heart. And we don't leave the spiritual out, because as you know, if you are a child of God, you know that you have invited Jesus Christ into your heart. So that is your spiritual heart, and your connection with God has to do with your spiritual heart. But today, like I said, we'll focus on your physical heart, okay? So I'm sure that, like I said, we were very anxious to give people gifts and things this month for our emotional heart. But did you take time to take care of your physical heart? I hope you did, and that's what I want to emphasize today. As you know, in Proverbs, it talks about keeping your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. And for me, I think of it as physical, emotional, and spiritual. Okay, so like I said, we will deal with physical today. So how do we keep our physical heart healthy? Well, as you may know, there are many diseases that can affect our physical heart. And I'm just going to name a few of them. There is hypertension, okay, which can lead to hypertensive heart disease. There is heart failure where the pump is not working like it should. There is also coronary artery disease. And this happens when the vessels that supply your heart with oxygen and nutrients, they get diseased. And so you may end up with coronary artery disease. And that can also cause you to get a heart attack sometimes. Or you may get a clot in one of those arteries, and then there is lack of blood supply and oxygen to a part of your heart, and that heart muscle. And when that dies, then you have a heart attack taking place. Also, with our hearts. We sometimes can have irregular heartbeats. Either it's beating too fast or too slow, or it's irregular in terms of the beats. And that, an example of that is what is known as AFib or atrial fibrillation. And I'm sure some of you may have heard about that. But we find out that diseases of the heart and the vessels, not just of the heart, but even in our other parts of the body, are what causes death in most countries. Now, what are the risk factors we can look at when we consider heart diseases? There are some that are preventable, and then there are some that are not preventable, in the sense that you acquire it through your genes, through inheritance. For example, if you are male, you are at increased risk to heart diseases. If you are older, the people above 65 are at increased risk to heart disease. And then if you have a family history of premature death caused by heart disease, and when we say premature, it means that you are less than 45 years old, and then you end up with a sudden death or something like that, which may have occurred in somebody else in your family. So that's something that you may not be able to prevent. And then postmenopausal women. When women get to the postmenopausal periods of their lives, you find out that our incidence of heart diseases are almost equal to that of men. And that is because of changes in the hormones in our bodies. So we've talked about the non-preventable ones. We can't do much about that, but there are others we can do something about. And those are what we term preventable risk factors. And we will name a few of them. Some of them include diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, when you tend to be heavy around your midsection, inactivity, stress and other mental health diseases, smoking, and then excessive alcohol intake. All of these are risk factors that can lead to diseases of your heart. Now, how do we as individuals try to reduce these risk factors that we mentioned in the prior slide? We do that by increasing our physical activity and then start exercising if we can. For example, walking several days of the week. You don't even have to join the gym, get moving, cooking in your kitchen, doing gardening, walking up and down the stairs. All of these are increased physical activities that you can do. Next is eating healthy. I know this is a problem for a whole lot of us, but we have to do that consciously, okay? Which means that we have to try and eat the rainbow colors of fruits and vegetables. So different colors all mixed together. Let's try and eat those veggies and fruits. And one caveat I'll give you is that eating a whole fruit is better than drinking fruit juice, okay? Because of the fact that sometimes these fruit juices are not even pure fruit juices, and that they don't have the fiber that the whole fruit has, which helps in reducing the rate at which your sugar increases when it gets into the blood. Then another thing we can do is to use a small plate, a small dinner plate, so that way you don't stack so much food on your plate at one time, okay? Next, I want to talk about us eating less white carbs. And this includes bread, rice, pasta, and white sugar. Let's think about when we see these white colored carbs, let's try and decrease the amounts and maybe switch to whole wheat bread, switch to brown rice, for example. That helps. The other thing is controlling your blood pressure with medications and a healthy diet, like a Mediterranean diet or a DASH diet. look up those two different types of diet and you'd see what they are made up of. But I know a lot of people, they have high blood pressure, they've had it for a long time. They go see a doctor, are given high blood pressure medicine, and they refuse to take them. You know, if you try the diet, the exercise, and it's not coming down, please go ahead and take those medicines that you've been given. The next that I would like us to also take note of is keeping a tab on your sugar for those who are diabetics or pre-diabetics. It is important. And if you are put on medications, please take them. Nowadays, the good thing is that we even have some new medicines that do not only decrease your blood sugar, but the good thing is that they also cause weight loss. So that is a real 2-for-1, so to speak. So talk to your doctor or your healthcare provider about diabetes medications if you are supposed to go on that. So in conclusion, I would like to remind you to give your heart some love in 2022 and take care of your heart. Thank you. I'll see you again next month. Okay, so we've finished this recording for today, which is on your heart. But I just also want to remind you, I have my book for women. It talks all these things we've discussed is in the book. You'll get it on Amazon, and it will be a life-changing book for you. There it is, A Woman's Guide to Her Body and Her Total Health. It's on Amazon. And get a copy and use it as a reference book. I don't expect you to read from cover to cover, but when we discuss a topic here, you can go back, look in it, and you kind of remember the things we talk about a little bit more. Thank you, and God bless.
All right. Wasn't that a wonderful segment on heart health? And I tell you, I don't know about you, but I can benefit from listening to that advice and from applying it to my life. And I intend to do so. So ladies, we are so glad for those that have joined in on this segment. And we will be coming back again next month, Lord willing, with Dr. Barbara, with more tips on how to stay healthy in 2022. God bless you and keep you from the Women's Ignite Network.